Hey everybody. Okay, so I was talking to a friend yesterday and I was thinking about it and I realized I might not have done you a good enough service just reviewing these Crayola markers that are supposed to be good for journaling in a notebook that the paper is not the thickest paper and not the best paper. So we're going to do a journaling 2.5. I'm going to go back and what I did, I'm just going to show you really quick. I already swatched them in a book. So let me explain to you what I did. So I went back and I looked at, this is the notebook I've been using from Stationery Pal, okay? The Stationery Pal notebook, I went and looked it up. I had it wrong originally in the video. I said it was A6, it's a B6 size. It's 128 pages. It is only 80 GSM paper. This paper is so thin, you could use it for a Kleenex, okay? Not the thickest paper. So I don't think the markers stood a good enough chance with a super, super thin paper. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna show you the notebook I chose to represent a thicker paper, and then I'm gonna show you the two back to back, or side to side, I mean. So you can see the markers on this paper and the markers in an Archer and Olive. This is an Archer and Olive notebook. This is an A5 size, so it's a little bit bigger, but most importantly, this is 160 GSM paper, okay? So this is some thick, thick paper, people. This paper is, I mean, feel it, can you hear that paper? It is so thick. I know you can't really feel it. Hopefully you can get some sort of vibe from it from the video, but Archer and Olive makes a really great notebook and super thick paper. So what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna do side by side really quick so you can see what these look like, since this is only a 2.5. So the metallic outline markers, which were these bad boys, okay? The ones that were super, super thick, and that completely bled through the paper here. Well, let me tell you something. If you take them and you put them on twice the paper, twice the thickness of paper, they still bleed through. So these markers, the metallic markers, I would recommend mostly for poster board or very, very, very thick. No, poster board. It's got to be poster board. These are crazy, like crazy drippy. If they're going to go through 160 GSM paper, I completely understood the 80 GSM paper, but 160 GSM paper to bleed through like that, nope. These are poster board only. That's my 2 cents. You do you. The Crayola glitter markers, that was these markers here. These were the really thin ones. Let me show you what they look like. They were these. These actually, none of the rest of these markers bled through to the other side of the 160 GSM paper. They did take to the paper differently than they took to the 80 GSM paper. When I used the blue glitter marker on 80-pound paper, it skipped the paper a little bit. It was a little crunchier on the paper. But on the 180 GSM paper, it wrote super, super smooth, and you could see a lot more of the glitter on it. Okay, I am not trashing this notebook at all. It's great for what it was. It was great for me to use in the wild. It's great for me to paste things in and to use regular pens or regular felt tip markers in. It is not great for certain types of other markers, okay? So we're gonna look at the pearlescent paint markers that were these. These were really thick and very juicy. If you remember me telling you, those were juicy. It went on super, super smooth. You can see that it's a little bit of a pearlescent shade and it didn't bleed through at all. Whereas you do have a little bit of ghosting on this paper. But again, this is twice the poundage of paper. So 80 GSM paper, 160 GSM paper. Okay, so work with me here. All right, we're gonna look at the liquid craft markers, also a very juicy pen. However, you'll notice ghosting, no ghosting at all on the 160 GSM paper. And again, because this paper is so much smoother and just a higher quality of paper, these markers all went on super smooth and super easy. There's no problem at all with them just writing. You get more of the metallic color, you get more of the glitter. It's just, since it's a better quality of paper, I think for the first time seeing it side by side, Scott's always talking about paper quality. I can see it here and I can feel it here in this type of quality of paper. And then lastly, the metallic project markers, that were these. And let me tell you something, I would use the metallic markers here. These I think would be great. Also, no ghosting, no bleeding through or anything on the 160 GSM paper. these would be great to take with you. Even on the 60-pound paper, you have a little bit of ghosting on here. I don't know if you can see it. A little bit of ghosting through. So you can, ghosting is when you can see it on the other side of the paper. You have the outline on the other side of the paper. And bleed through is, I mean, do we really need to talk about what bleed through is? I mean, hello, bleed through. It's just the same on both sides of the paper. But these metallic markers are really fun. They write really smooth. They're really nice. And I think any of these would be great to put into your journal to take with you, as long as you're going to use them on higher quality paper. So that is my caveat. The markers are great. I would use them on higher quality paper. These metallic outline markers, I would not use these on anything but poster board. Just don't do it. You will ruin the pages behind you. Don't do it. Not a recommend. For lower quality paper, only poster board. Okay, so there's my wrap up, and that's 2.5. Okay, bye.